If you're over 50 and constantly feeling tired, struggling with belly fat, or dealing with sluggish digestion, your liver could be the culprit. Barbara O'Neill's good news? You can cure a fatty liver in just 2 weeks by eating or drinking this simple remedy. It's easier than you think. Find out and get your liver back on track. This morning, we're going to be looking at your liver. The liver is the organ that orchestrates detoxification. It's often called the project manager because everything that goes into the body goes first to the liver, and everything that comes out of the body does so under the jurisdiction of the liver. First, let's have a look at what goes into the body and what the liver does with it. In the history of mankind, we have never eaten so many carbohydrates. I think you'll agree with me that we've become high carbohydrate consumers. Just go into any supermarket and you'll find a whole aisle devoted to bread, a whole aisle devoted to cereal, and almost a whole aisle devoted to pasta. There's certainly a large section devoted to cakes, which includes croissants, muffins, cookies, and biscuits. Another high carbohydrate food is pizza, along with rice, potatoes, and products made with potatoes. There's your French fries and chips, or potato crisps, as you might call them, last, but certainly least in nutritive value, is the pure crystallized acid extracted from the sugarcane plant. Would you agree with me? If you live on a farm, this is not fast food. All of this has to be made. What's the fast food down on the farm? Fruits and vegetables? That's your best fast food shop, your fruit and vegetable shop. All of these foods in the gastrointestinal tract break down to a singular structure called glucose. Glucose gets absorbed out of the gut into the blood, traveling on the main highway, the portal vein, straight to the liver. The liver determines what happens to that glucose. The first place it goes is to the cell. Under the action of insulin, glucose goes through a 20-step pathway, which gives us 2 units of energy. The end result of this pathway is a chemical form of glucose called pyruvate. Pyruvate is then fed into what's often called the powerhouse of the cell, which is an 8-step pathway that delivers 36 units of energy. The focus is on the liver, the body's detox commander. Everything that enters is filtered through this organ. But here's the harsh truth. Our diets are killing it. Supermarkets are stocked with carbohydrate-heavy foods like bread, pasta, and sugar-filled treats, overwhelming the liver with glucose. Most of it gets converted into fat, leading to the silent epidemic of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. People don't realize that pizza, chips, and even rice are flooding the liver with more than it can handle. The liver, which should be managing detox, is instead drowning in fat. Fruits and vegetables, on the other hand, give the liver a break, promoting detox rather than fat buildup. It's time to stop sabotaging our bodies with carbs and opt for natural foods that heal the liver. The liver can recover, but only if we act now by embracing real nutritious food. You see, on this high carbohydrate diet, the poor old pancreas is getting screamed at all day for more insulin. But on a lower carbohydrate diet, the pancreas gets a break and starts to revive. People with high cholesterol levels have seen their levels come back to normal. What are we told to do if we want to get cholesterol levels down? Stop the meat, butter, cream, cheese, and eggs. Am I right? The truth is that cholesterol levels were coming down, and those on the Atkins diet saw their cancer patients going into remission. I do admit I am guilty of inflammation overload, but cancer cells consume 15 times the glucose of any other cell. When you drastically stop consuming high glucose foods, the cancer cells can actually self-destruct when they're not getting the glucose they need. What Atkins discovered is that these 3 food groups are essential. What does essential mean? It means the body doesn't make it. You have to put it in. Fiber is essential because our gut needs to be swept every day. That's what fiber does. It's in the fiber part of the food that you'll often get a concentration of nutrients. Did you know that the highest concentration of nutrients in a potato is just under the skin? When you peel your potatoes, you lose that. We're very thankful to Jamie Oliver, who encouraged people to leave the skins on their potatoes. On this high-carb diet, the pancreas is constantly being yelled at for more insulin and is exhausted. But when we shift away from these glucose-heavy foods, the pancreas finally gets a break and starts to recover. People with high cholesterol saw their levels drop, and guess what? They weren't avoiding butter, cream, or eggs. We've been told to fear these foods, but it's the carbs that are the real villain. Cholesterol came down, and even cancer patients saw their tumors shrink. Why? Because cancer cells thrive on glucose 15 times more than normal cells. Cut off the glucose supply, and the cancer starts to starve. The real essential foods, butter, eggs, and cream, don't spike your insulin and support overall health. Fiber is crucial too, sweeping the gut clean and delivering nutrients. Even something as simple as eating potatoes with a skin boost nutrition. The truth is that fatty liver thrives on sugar, not healthy fats. Dandelion is the king of the herbs in the garden because it is a bitter herb. If you were to bite it and eat it, it's very, very bitter. You've heard the old saying, sweet to the mouth, bitter to the stomach. Think of that with sugar. Sugar is sweet to the mouth, but very bitter to the stomach. On the other hand, bitter herbs like dandelion are bitter to the mouth, but very sweet to the stomach. This is because the bitter herbs stimulate the liver to release its digestive enzymes, and the bitterness also causes the stomach to release its digestive enzymes. Dandelion is the liver herb. Your liver is a recoverable organ. It's the only organ in the body that has the ability to regrow or recover. That's why they can perform a liver transplant with just a little bit of liver, and the liver will regrow. I'm so glad that God made the liver a recoverable organ because some of the things that people do to their bodies in ignorance could have serious consequences. If we didn't have a recoverable organ, some of us wouldn't even live past our 20s. But God, in His great wisdom and mercy, made the liver to be a recoverable organ, and these herbs help stimulate the liver to regrow and recover. Cancer cannot get a hold on the body if the liver is working at optimum performance. Now, how can we eat dandelion? There's a recipe in Europe. A friend of mine traveled through Europe and stayed with some relatives because she's of German descent. She said they make this wonderful hot potato salad. They cook the potatoes, chop them up while hot into hunks, and then chop up heaps of dandelion. They add lots of olive oil, crushed garlic, and salt. Just imagine that. Doesn't that sound delicious? Those smooth, bland potatoes covered with delicious olive oil make anything taste nice, calming down the garlic and the bitterness of the dandelion. Every mouthful you eat is mostly potato with that lovely oil, salt, a little garlic, and a little bit of dandelion. It's actually delicious, a fantastic hot potato salad. This lady suffered from iron problems, but she said, I had no iron challenges when I was in Europe. She attributed it to eating the hot potato dandelion salad every day. You can also buy dandelion root that's been roasted, which is like dandelion coffee. You can find a delicious drink in health food shops called chai dandelion. A lot of people drink chai tea, but it contains tannin and caffeine. Chai dandelion, however, is a delicious drink. Many people don't like herb teas because they find them tasteless and bland, but not chai dandelion. It has a whole lot of herbs and spices to give it that beautiful flavor. So, you can have fresh dandelion scattered through your salads, or you can make your hot potato salad with lots of dandelion leaves. You can also buy the roasted dandelion root and have that as a hot drink. Let me tell you, dandelion is the king of herbs, especially for your liver. It's bitter to the mouth, but incredibly sweet to the stomach, and it's exactly what your liver needs to recover from fatty liver. We've been brainwashed into thinking sugar-filled foods are the way, but they're silently destroying your liver. Dandelion, on the other hand, stimulates the liver to release essential digestive enzymes, promoting detox and regeneration. Now, how do you consume it? You can scatter fresh dandelion leaves in your salads, balancing bitterness with other greens, or for a powerful tonic, try roasted dandelion root as a tea. It's a fantastic liver cleanser that stimulates bile production, helping the liver break down fats and flush out toxins. You might be surprised to see that the first alkaline food I'm putting up here is the humble lemon. You might say, no, the lemon's acid? Yes, it is acidic where it should be. There's only one part of the body that should be acidic, the stomach. It must be acid. If someone says, I've got a very acid stomach, I say, praise God. Because if you don't have an acid stomach, you can't break down your proteins. How do you know it's acidic? Well, it's sore. If you can't feel it, that means you haven't got a thick mucosa lining in your stomach. We're going to look at water tomorrow, which is made up of water. Maybe it's because you're dehydrated. Remember, you have to investigate. The lemon is acid where it should be, which is why you'll find that most of our salad dressings have lemon in them. When the lemon is broken down in the gut, the minerals are dispersed and absorbed into the blood and tissues, giving it an alkaline effect because the lemon is high in alkaline minerals such as sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and iron. Don't you love the lemon? Every home should have a lemon tree, and if you're in a unit, you can have a lemon tree in a pot on your veranda. One liver herb that many people don't realize is incredibly powerful is the humble lemon. In the morning, I always recommend starting with a simple lemon drink. After you wake up, have your water, then boil the kettle and squeeze half a lemon into a cup with some warm water, not boiling. This makes for a fantastic liver tonic. Lemons are more than just acidic. They're powerful internal alkalizers. They help balance the body's pH, which is crucial for liver health. Bile is essential for breaking down fats in the liver, so when you drink lemon tea daily, you're giving your liver the tools it needs to recover and function properly. It's simple, natural, and it works. Now, let's have a look at ginger. Ginger can be used internally and externally. Internally, it's an anti-inflammatory, but it's probably best known for its anti-nausea effect. If you buy car sickness or seasickness tablets, they're just compressed ginger. The easiest way to have ginger is to grate it. Grate about a teaspoon and put it in a little teapot. Then pour boiling water over it and let it sit for about 10 minutes. That might be too strong for you, but I love it. If it's too strong, you can always water it down a little bit. If someone is very cold, maybe they've been caught out in the cold, give them a cup of hot ginger tea and it will warm them up nicely. Ginger can be used for nausea and to warm a person if they're chilled. I remember being at a health seminar where everyone went to have their herb teas, and a girl with a tiny grater was grating ginger. She said, "I'm an entertainer. I was in Greece last year and lost my voice. A little Greek lady made me hot ginger tea, and I sang that night." So, she travels with her little grater everywhere she goes. Ginger is very nice for a sore throat or hoarse throat. Let's talk more about ginger. It can be used both internally and externally, but it's best known for its anti-inflammatory and anti-nausea properties. If you've ever had car sickness or seasickness, those tablets you take are just compressed ginger. I love to grate about a teaspoon of fresh ginger, put it in a teapot, and pour boiling water over it. Let it steep for about 10 minutes. It's strong but powerful. If it's too intense, you can always dilute it. Ginger tea is fantastic for warming the body, especially if someone has been caught in the cold. Here's where it gets interesting. Ginger's anti-inflammatory power also helps the liver, especially in cases of fatty liver. When you drink ginger tea regularly, it stimulates bile flow, which helps break down fats in the liver and reduces fat buildup. Plus, it fights the inflammation that comes with fatty liver. A simple cup of ginger tea can do wonders for liver health and overall detoxification. We are all different. We're a combination of birth, genetics, and experiences. That's why I believe everyone should be their own doctor. There is another herb that you can take internally to reduce inflammation, and that's turmeric. Turmeric is a very powerful herb for reducing inflammation internally. How often or how much should you take? A teaspoon 3 times a day is a good start. If it's fresh turmeric, you would triple that dose. If it's dried, then you would bring it back down. Let's dive into turmeric. This herb is incredibly powerful for reducing inflammation internally, and it's a must for anyone dealing with chronic conditions, including fatty liver. I recommend a teaspoon of turmeric 3 times a day. If you're using fresh turmeric, you'd triple the amount compared to dried. Turmeric isn't just about reducing inflammation. It supports heart health, improves digestion, and protects against oxidative stress. But here's the controversial part. Fatty liver thrives in an inflamed environment, and turmeric, especially its active ingredient curcumin, helps combat that. Curcumin fights inflammation at the cellular level, which is crucial because chronic inflammation contributes to liver damage and even cancer. Consuming turmeric as tea is simple. Just boil water, add a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper to boost absorption, and let it steep. This tea not only fights fatty liver, but also boosts overall wellness by detoxifying and protecting the liver. So, there you have it, just a few simple natural remedies that can fix fatty liver in as little as 2 weeks. Remember, your liver can recover, but it needs your help. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more health tips. See you next time.